The Carolina Panthers announced that one of their starting tight ends is going to be out at least until training camp. Should fans be concerned? Let's talk about it.
Brace yourself for the ultimate Carolina Panthers experience. Welcome to Two Growls, One Roar, the podcast that hits harder than a Luke Kuechly tackle. We're diving deep into the heart of Panther Nation, bringing you unrivaled passion, insider takes, and pure gridiron fire. From Wilmington to the cosmos, this is your home for the fiercest football talk east or west of Charlotte.
Welcome in, folks, to another edition of the Two Growls, One Roar podcast. Folks, it is June 5th, the last day of OTAs as I record this, and I just finished doing a collaboration live podcast recording with our friends, What's Up Doug, so be sure to go check out his channel. Again, it's What's Up Doug 336. Or you can search for Two Growls. It'll all pop up. Appreciate him having me on. But one of the topics that we discussed on this episode was the tight end room. And before, as we were going back and forth on content, he had some ideas in mind on position battles. And before we got this news about Tommy Tremble, we were going to have a discussion about Ja'Tavion Sanders and Mitchell Evans and whether, which one of these guys was going to take a step forward. Fast forward a few days, we get the news now that Tommy Tremble is going to be out at least into training camp. Now, with the potential to be preseason, and what happened is he had surgery on his back. There are fans that are wondering why now. And I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. It's not my body. So as far as the timing and getting these things aligned, I know Dave Canales said they wanted to do it while he was young. Speaking of Tommy Tremble and getting this procedure, but it is late. It is very late into the offseason program to do this. And the Carolina Panthers are really putting a strain on themselves right now. When you look at the Carolina Panthers depth chart behind Ja'Tavion Sanders, Tommy Tremble, and now newly drafted rookie Mitchell Evans, folks, it is slim pickings. There's a reason why the Carolina Panthers were exploring the Coastal Carolina Basketball Project, Colin Granger, who got released. Folks, the fourth string tight end on this roster right now is Dominique Daphne. Now, I know on Panthers.com, there's a few other guys that are on this list, undrafted free agents. We also have James Mitchell, who has 3 years of experience. We're really talking camp bodies at this point. Bryce Pierre, who is a rookie this year, undrafted free agent. There's not a lot of depth. And as we went through this offseason, and shout out to What's Up Doug, because he's the one who just mentioned this on the show, maybe the reason the Panthers decided to draft a tight end was maybe they thought or had a, lead that Tommy Tremble was going to miss some time or could potentially miss some time. Panthers did need depth either way. So however it played out. But now, if you were a fan, I do think you have to be a little bit concerned. And now the significance of the injury, the odds of it recurring, we know Tommy Tremble has missed time throughout his career. And to be honest, he hasn't been as productive as we thought he would be. He hasn't lived up to the hype. I think he can. I think he not now hype, we got to, be cautious with our words and what we mean by hype, but I think he can be a solid starting tight end for years to come for the Carolina Panthers. But folks, he's coming off the best year of his career where he only topped out at 234 yards-ish. Then you go look across and you see Ja'Tavion Sanders, who was a rookie, getting his feet under him and had over 300 yards. As a rookie, he outperformed Tommy Tremble. So now it's almost rinse and repeat from the cycle that we just saw last year. Mitchell Evans now, because of the injury to Tommy Tremble, in a similar way that Ian Thomas missed time last year and was hurt, and so now Ja'Tavion Sanders got reps and snaps and got thrown into the mix. You're now going to have Mitchell Evans taking on that role. Now, as much as I want to talk about being concerned about this situation, and I am concerned, one of the positive is the depth all around the Carolina Panthers at the receiver position. So what you need from Mitchell Evans isn't necessarily a 4 to 5 pass catching option, it is nice because you don't want everyone honing in on Tommy Tremble when you have 2 tight end sets of like where the ball is going to go. But it does help open up things a little bit more than if you didn't have a Tetero McMillan and some of these additional guys that we think are going to take a step forward, Xavier Legette, etc. But looking ahead, it is cause for concern, and I do think the Panthers will likely consider, unless one of these guys that I mentioned, Dominique Daphne, James Mitchell, who has 3 years of experience, Daphne has 2 years, or Bryce Pierre, who is a rookie out of UCLA, unless one of those guys can step up and potentially make the 53-man roster, I think you are going to be looking at a situation where the Panthers have to go out either when roster cuts happen or prior to going into camp, bringing in an additional body. All this thing will play out, and hopefully in the long run, this is maybe a good situation, assuming that Tommy Tremble can come back healthy and available. Because if Tommy Tremble can come back and he is himself and he can, get here by game 2 or 3 and be healthy, and then you have Mitchell Evans who's getting real game experience, preseason experience, you put yourself in a really good position, as well as Jatavian Sanders. Worst case scenario, if one of those guys in front of them, or if you have Jatavian Sanders or Mitchell Evans go down, it's not great. Not good. Now, one of the funny things about this whole situation, when you talk about Mitchell Evans replacing Tommy Tremble, is the fact that Mitchell Evans replaced Tommy Tremble at Notre Dame when Tommy Tremble went to the league. Tremble is young. He's only 25 years old. This is his 5th year. Hard to believe that he's going into his 5th year here. Just never been able to produce. Again, 234 yards is not a lot of production. So I say all these things as I am concerned, but I think it's more of a concern of just additional depth that's going to be needed. I don't know. Yes, he's good at blocking, but how much the Carolina Panthers are going to be losing. So that's my take today. Let me know what you guys think. As always, this is Carolina Dad. Y'all have a good one.